Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are fit and fine at your home. Dear students, this video is for the students who are studying in 8th standard. Today we shall study history subject. In history, we are going to study the 12th lesson, that is India gains independence. Okay students, this video is going to very interesting and informative because here in this chapter or lesson we are going to understand how India got independence. Okay, what kind of process were being done before independence, what were the plans, provisions of British governments before giving freedom to India. Okay students, so this video is going to very interesting. Students, if you are new on my channel, so do not forget to subscribe and share it to your friends. Okay students, yeah, so without further ado, let's get started with the chapter. So lesson, India gains independence. Students, always I tell you that reading is very important to understand anything. Okay, so let's first read and then try to understand it. See, during the period of Second World War, Indian freedom struggle had become more extensive. The demand for independence of India was gaining its strength. The British rulers realized that it was necessary to take a serious note of it. Accordingly, the British government started preparing various plans for granting independence to India. Yes student, during the period of World War II or Second World War. Yes, can you tell me the period of Second World War? Yes, you can type your answer in the comment section. Period of Second World War was 1939 to 1945. So during this period we have studied the movements, we have studied the agitations against we have seen the struggle for freedom was in process. Okay, most of the people, all the people from all the caste, religion and all participated in the agitation against the British rule. So we have seen the agitations, movements we have seen, for example, citizens movement, workers movement. So all the people were participated from all the category, all the section and all we can say, or the section of the society we can say. So here British government realized that during this period of Second World War that we have to take a serious note of this freedom struggle and we need to grant freedom to India now. And accordingly the British government was working on it. The British government started planning to give freedom. But in what sense? In what sense we need to give freedom? So they were thinking on that also. So they were preparing the plans. Student, during this period the Britishers observed that, the British government observed that the Indian people were united together. They had seen the strength of unity. Okay, and so here the British government wanted to control the Indian people. And how they wanted to control now? They started planning. So student, here the British government used one of the policies, that is divide and rule. So student, what do you mean by this divide and rule policy? Student, if you have observed in your class, if two students are making noise or masti or chatting in class, so what does a teacher do? Yes student, can you tell me? Yes, so teacher divides the student, makes them sit separately, okay, so that they will not make noise in class, they will not disturb the class. Okay, and the teacher can have control on the boys. Okay, so in the same way the British government wanted to control the Indian people by dividing and ruling them. Okay student, so here British government started planning according to the consideration that British should give freedom to India now. Now next student, the Indian National Congress was founded on the principle of secularism. People of all caste, religion and had taken part in the national struggle to weaken this movement. The British adopted the policy of divide and rule. Its consequence was the establishment of Muslim League. Yes student, already we have studied the purpose of establishment of or formation of Indian National Congress was that the people should come together, people should unite together, as well as Indian National Congress wanted that the people from all the section, all the caste, all the religion, no poor, no rich, all the people should get together and fight against the British government. So here basically INC wanted the unity of the Indian people, and during this period of Second World War, British government observed that the strength of Indian people, the strength of unity of Indian people, and hence they wanted to divide and rule the Indian people and weaken, as well as one of the purpose of divide and rule policy was to weaken the freedom struggle, to weaken the freedom movement. Okay student, and hence British government used the policy that is divide and rule. The consequence was establishment of the Muslim League. Yes student, so this policy was very badly affected on the Muslim League. We have studied about Muslim League earlier also. Okay students, yes. So we can see the consequences created after the divide and rule policy. And here, because of this divide and rule policy, we can see there is a separation of Hindu and Muslim most probably. Okay students, or the thoughts of Hindu and Muslim most probably we can see. Now see what was the consequences now, what was the result of divide and rule policy adopted by British government. Student, in 1930 Dr. Muhammad Iqbal, a well-known poet, put forth the thought of an independent Muslim state. So, yes students, so here we can see that for the first time the seed of separation sowed by Dr. Muhammad Iqbal. Here we can say Dr. Muhammad Iqbal, he was a well-known poet and he put forth the thought of an independent Muslim state. It happens because of the divide and rule policy students. So here it is very important to understand that British government adopted the policy of divide and rule, and because of that here we can see the consequences, bad result of that policy, that here the people belonging to Muslim religion, they started thinking about the separate state or Muslim state we can say. Now see, the same idea was put forth or stretched by later Chaudhary Rahmat Ali, put up the idea of Pakistan. Now here he stretched the idea of Muslim state, and Chaudhary Rahmat Ali put forth the idea of Pakistan. Here now student, the same happened again further. See, Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah put forth the two nation theory and demanded a separate Muslim nation named Pakistan. Yes student, the idea of Dr. Muhammad Iqbal, the idea of Chaudhary Rahmat Ali, stretched by Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and he put the two nation theory. The two nation theory tells us separation of country into two new states or countries we can say, and according to he was demanding the separate country named as Pakistan. But according to Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Indian National Congress was only a Hindu organization and the Muslims have no benefit of it. Student, if you have studied INC or establishment of INC or formation of INC, the purpose of INC or Indian National Congress was that to unite the people together, the people belonging to all caste, religion, and fought against the British government, as well as to maintain the unity, peace in the mind of people, also to awaken the feeling of freedom in the mind of common people also. So these were the basic principles of INC. But here Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah said that Indian National Congress was only a Hindu organization, but it was not like that, because in Indian National Congress all the people participated. Okay, the people belonging to all caste, religion participated in INC, and we should not forget that Muhammad Ali Jinnah was also the part of freedom struggle. So here we can't say that Indian National Congress was only a Hindu organization, but the principle of INC was secularism. The Muslim have no benefit of it. Such kind of propaganda was started by Barrister Jinnah and the Muslim League. Okay student, because of the divide and rule policy, such kind of propagandas were started by the Muslim League that time. Now see student, now here I have told you just now the British government was thinking about giving freedom to India. Okay, now and according to that they were working on that and they planned a lots of things. Now here one important plan we are going to understand, that is Wavell plan. Student, in June 1945 the Lord Wavell, the Viceroy of India, drew up a plan. Now here Lord Wavell was the Viceroy of India. He drew a plan, he made a plan how to give freedom to India, and there were different provisions in the plan. Accordingly, some of its provisions were that in central and provincial legislature, Muslims, Dalit minority should be given proper representation and there will be equal number of Hindu and Muslim members in Viceroy executive. Yes student, one of the part of this provision or plan, we can say that according to Wavell's plan, that there should be in central and provincial legislatures, there should be Muslim representatives, Dalit representatives, minority should be there, as well as the number of Hindus and the number of Muslims should be equal one. Okay, so this was the plan. So there should be the representative of all the people, for example Muslim, Dalits, minorities, as well as Hindu. Okay students, but the number should be equal one according to the Wavell plan. Now see, to execute this plan, Wavell conducted or organized a meeting at Shimla. Okay student, a meeting of all political parties in India organized at Shimla to consider the Wavell plan. Okay student, so a meeting was called, and in that meeting all the important leaders of important parties were called there to discuss such kind of representation of all the people. Okay, now here students, this Wavell plan failed. Why it is failed? Let's try to understand the reason behind the failure of Wavell plan. Student, the meeting was called at Simla. All the important leaders attended that meeting, and now here one of the important thing or a problem created by Barrister Jinnah, that Barrister Jinnah insisted that only the Muslim League should have the right to suggest the names of Muslim representative to the Viceroy's Executive Council. Okay student, but this statement was opposed by INC, that is Indian National Congress. Okay student, why? Because here the Indian National Congress was completely based on the principle of secularism. According to the Congress, it is not justice that only the Muslim League will decide or suggest the names of the Muslim representatives. And because of this opposition, here we can say that the Wavell plan could not be successful. So this was the reason that the Wavell plan failed. Okay student, have understood this Wavell plan? It is very important student according to the examination point of view. The question can be asked, what is Wavell plan? So you have to explain in short. Okay, now we are going to understand about the cabinet mission. Students, so here we can see the process of giving independence to the India. So first part of the process is the Wavell plan. The second one we can say that is cabinet mission. What is cabinet mission? Such kind of question can be asked in examination. See student, after the end of Second World War, the British rulers were in favor of granting freedom to India. Already we have studied that during the period of Second World War, British government was thinking that we should give independence to Indian people or India, we can say. So they were in favor of granting freedom to India. Now in the parliament, British Prime Minister Attlee clarified the British policy regarding India. Now student, here we can say in the parliament, British parliament, the Prime Minister of Britain, Mr. Attlee, clarified that the British policy regarding India. What was the policy? See student, according to it, the right of Indian people to draft their own constitution was recognized. Yes student, British government observed that if we are giving independence to India, India will be requiring its own constitution. So it is realized by the British Prime Minister Attlee, and according to him we should give freedom to form their own constitution, to form the Indian constitution. It was also made clear that the issue of minorities will not come in the way of India's independence. And one more important thing is cleared by Mr. Attlee, or the British Prime Minister Attlee, that there will not be any problem of minorities while giving independence to India. Yes student, in March 1946, a delegation of British ministers, namely Patrick Lawrence, Stafford Cripps and A.V. Alexander, put forth England's plan regarding India in front of Indian leaders. So this was the plan. Okay students, what was the plan? That the plan was that freedom should be given to India to form the constitution or to draft the Indian constitution, as well as there should not be any problem of minority before giving or while giving independence to India. And to convey this idea, to convey this thought of forming, drafting the constitution, a delegation, a group of people came to India. In that delegation, Patrick Lawrence, Stafford Cripps and A.V. Alexander was involved. Okay students, and they put the idea in front of the important leaders of India. Okay student, and this cabinet is called as cabinet mission, or this delegation is called as cabinet mission. Okay students, such kind of question can be asked, what is cabinet mission? Yes student, so here we can see the delegation of 3 people. Okay student, and now see here some of the provisions in the plan were not acceptable to the Congress, and some of the provisions in the plan were not acceptable to the Muslim League, and because of that both were unsatisfied. The Congress as well as the Muslim League, both were unsatisfied, and because of that this cabinet mission also failed. Okay, so therefore cabinet mission was not fully accepted. Now see student, next one of the important thing we are going to understand, that is direct action plan now. So this is also one of the important incidents before gaining independence. Okay student, so what is direct action plan? Since the demand for Pakistan was not fulfilled, the Muslim League decided for action plan, direct action. The Muslim League decided for direct action. See student, we have seen that Muslim League was demanding separate Pakistan, separate Muslim state, but the planning of British government, Muslim League did not see any provision for Muslim state, okay, or Muslim country, or Pakistan we can say, and because of that Muslim League decided for direct action now. So here they started thinking of taking direct action, direct agitation, direct movement. Okay, and accordingly 16th August 1946 was declared to be observed as a direct action day by the Muslim League. And here according to the consideration, here Muslim League decided that on 16th August 1946 they will take a direct action, and it will be observed as a direct action day. Okay students, dear students, whatever I have taught you till now, if you understood that, if you liked that, then do not forget to subscribe my channel, as well as share my channel to your school friends, tuition friends, as well as your relatives. Okay students, and thank you in advance. Now students, let's continue. Here we were discussing the direct action plan. So I have told you that the direct action day was decided on 16th August 1946, and the followers of the Muslim League restored to violent ways. Here according to the action day, according to the planning, Muslim League started taking the violent ways. They started riots, they started slaughtering the people. So here we can see the riots among the Hindu and Muslim people. Okay, student. So there were massacre in Naukhali region in province of Bengal. So here we can see the massacre in Naukhali region in the province of Bengal. Student, massacre means what? Slaughtering each other. So here people started slaughtering each other. Okay, on the direct action plan. Now see, student, here to stop this violence, Gandhiji went there without giving any thought to his own life. He tried his best to establish peace there. Observing such kind of condition, observing this miserable condition, observing this terrific condition, Gandhiji went to Bengal without thinking of his own life and tried to maintain the peace there in Bengal. Okay, students, so here it is very important to understand. Now see the further incident. Again we are going to understand, that is the establishment of interim government. Yes, students, just now we have studied the direct action plan or direct action day. During this day we have seen the riots also. The people were involved in riots, the people were slaughtering. Okay, but during this time also we can see here the British government established the interim government. Okay, while the blaze of violence had arisen in the country, Viceroy Wavell established the interim government, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the head of this government. Yes, student. So during this riot, during the blaze of violence, okay, the blaze of violence had arisen in the country. Riots were there. Okay, such bad condition was there, and during this period also Viceroy Wavell established the interim government. What do you mean by interim government, student? Provisional government. Okay, student, provisional government means what? It is not permanent government, it is temporary government, that is called as interim government or provisional government. And who was the head of this interim government? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the head of this government. Students, see further what happened again here. See, student, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was head of this interim government, and the Muslim League initially denied to participate in interim government. Okay, and but later participated in it. Okay, see, student, first of all, initially on the initial stage when the interim government established by Wavell, but here the Muslim League didn't want to participate in interim government because there was no provision for Muslim state or Muslim league, we can say. So here they didn't want to participate in interim government, but afterward, later, after some time, they joined the interim government. But here what we see, student, we can see here that Muslim League had very stubborn nature, had abstract nature. They adopted a policy of abstraction. What do we mean by policy of abstraction, student? Here, that creating hurdles, creating problems, okay, so that the government will not run smoothly. The same thing happened because of the nature of abstraction or policy of abstraction. The interim government could not able to work smoothly. Okay, students, so this is also very important incident before gaining independence. Now next we are going to understand, that is also very important, student, Mountbatten plan. Student, one more important thing I would like to tell you. These are all the general things that we need to understand. Why we need to understand? Because we should have the general knowledge. Okay, general knowledge. Students, if you want to be a orator or a speaker, whenever we give a speech on any day, Independence Day, 26th January, 1st May, or any education competition, so such kind of knowledge is very important, so that we can give reference to each and everything. Okay, students, so this knowledge is very important. Mountbatten plan. What is Mountbatten plan? England's Prime Minister Attlee had announced that England would leave its dominion on India before June 1948. Yes, student, I have told you that already the government, the British government was thinking to leave India and give independence to India. Okay, accordingly, the Prime Minister of England, Mr. Attlee, announced that the England would leave its dominion on India before June 1948. Okay, and on this background of transfer of the power in India, Lord Mountbatten was appointed as the Viceroy of India. Okay, students, so it is very important to understand, on the background of transferring the power in India, Lord Mountbatten was appointed as a Viceroy of India, and Mountbatten came with a plan. But before planning, Mountbatten had discussion with the prominent leaders or important leaders of India. Okay, students, and thereafter he prepared a plan of creation of India and Pakistan as two independent nations. Yes, after having discussion with the prominent leaders, important leaders in India, Mountbatten prepared a plan. And in this plan, now we can see the creation of India and Pakistan as two independent nations. Okay, students, now see, Indian National Congress opposed the plan of partition. Yes, student, you know that Indian National Congress was in favor of unity of India or unity of all Indian people, and here Indian National Congress opposed this plan of separation of two countries, that is India and Pakistan, because Congress wanted the unity of people in India. But the Muslim League remained adamant on creation of Pakistan. But here Muslim League remained adamant, rigid. The Muslim League didn't want to change on the creation of Pakistan, and because of that, National Congress was left with no option but to accept the decision of partition with complete helplessness. Okay, student, so here, because of the stubborn nature of Muslim League, Congress didn't have any choice but to accept the decision of partition with a grievousness, okay, with complete helplessness. Okay, students, have you understood this much? Very good. If you have liked whatever I have taught till now, so do not forget to subscribe my channel and share it to your friends. Now let's move further. Students, see here. See here, we can see this map shows. See here, you can see the West Pakistan is there and East Pakistan is there. Okay, so after 15th August 1947, we can see the partition of country into two parts, that is Pakistan and India. So here we can clearly see. Now see, student, one more important thing here we are going to understand, that is Indian Independence Act. Okay, so this act is very, very important, because according to this act only we gained independence and we became free. Okay, student, so which is this act? Let's learn. Indian Independence Act. On 18th July 1947, on the basis of Mountbatten Plan, the Indian Independence Act was passed in British Parliament. Yes, student, in the beginning of this chapter I have told you, we have studied that already the British government started working on giving independence to India. As per that, on 18th July 1947, on the basis of the Mountbatten Plan. What was the Mountbatten Plan? That there should be two countries, Pakistan and India. On this idea, on this thought, the Indian Independence Act was passed in the British Parliament. Which was the day? 18th July 1947. The Indian Act was passed in Britain. Okay, students, on 15th August 1947, the two independent nations, India and Pakistan, will come into existence. Yes, according to the Mountbatten Plan, it was declared, it was clarified, it was resolved that there should be two countries, India and Pakistan, and it will be existed on 15th August 1947, and thereafter the British Parliament will not have any control over them. Yes, as per the rule, British government will not have any control on the any part of India, whether it is provincial state, princely state, or any region of India. Now see, the British supremacy over the princely states will also come to an end. Just now I have told you, Act provided them right to either join India or Pakistan or remain independent. Now here, student, at that time, independence in India, around approximately 600 princely states were there in India. But here the British government had given right to them. They had the right whether they will join India or Pakistan or remain independent. So such kind of right was given to the princely state of India. Okay, and because of that was created in India after independence, that we know, and we are going to study that in the next chapter, how the states, approximately 600 states, princely state, merged in India. Okay, so what was that process of merging? Okay, that we are going to learn in the next chapter. Okay, so this was the Indian Act. Okay, now see, India gains independence. As per the Indian Independence Act, India was granted independence on 15th August 1947. Yes, student, just now I have told you that 18 July 1947, the resolution done in the British Parliament that on 15th August 1947, India will be free. As per the Indian Independence Act, we attained the independence. Okay, student, on 15th August 1947. A meeting of Constituent Assembly was going on in the Hall of Parliament House in Delhi in the midnight of 14th August 1947. Student, as per the Act, we received independence on 15th August 1947, and accordingly a meeting was going on at Delhi, okay, in the house, parliamentary house, assembly house, okay, and in the midnight of 14th August 1947, at the stroke of midnight hour, India's independence came to an end, and here was the end of British rule in India. Students, at the midnight of 14th August 1947, after a long time of slavery, India got independence. So this was the proud moment for all the Indians. Okay, students, so it is very proud feeling moment. But this freedom we got after lots of sacrifices of the people. Okay, students, so at the stroke of midnight hour, the Union Jack of Britain was lowered, and in its place the Indian tricolor flag was unfurled. Yes, student, so the flag of British government, that is Union Jack, was lowered down with respect, and as well as with respect, the Indian tricolor flag was unfurled. Okay, so here we can say the India attained independence from the 150 years of slavery. Yes, student, we can say it was slavery. Okay, students, now see, the joy of attainment of freedom was not untainted. This joy was not untainted. So the Indian people were grieved. What is the reason behind that? That joy of attainment of freedom was not attainment. The question can be asked to student, what is the reason behind the joy of attainment of freedom was not untainted? Okay, so let's try to understand the reason now. See, Indian people were grieved due to the partition of country and terrible violence during that period. Yes, student, so this was the one of the reason that Indian National Congress and most of the people of India didn't want the partition of the country. But as per the Mountbatten plan, that the country was divided into two countries, that is Pakistan and India. So this was the grieve, and because of that grieveness, the Indian people could not enjoy the attainment of freedom, as well as the terrible violence during that period. Yes, students, the people who wanted to migrate Pakistan or the people who wanted to join Pakistan, during the traveling, riots were occurring. Because of that, a terrible situation created, terrible violence created during this period. So this was also the reason that we could not enjoy the attainment of freedom. Okay, now see, instead of joining the celebration of independence, Gandhiji was striving hard in Bengal. Yes, students, so here, instead of joining the joy of gaining independence of India, Gandhiji starving hard in Bengal. Gandhiji went to Bengal to maintain peace in Bengal. But after this incident, within 6 months of attainment of freedom of India, Gandhiji was brutally assassinated by Nathuram Godse on 30th January 1948. Yes, student, after 6 months of gaining independence, very brutally Gandhiji was killed by Nathuram Godse on the 30th January 1948. Yes, student, Gandhiji strove day and night to preserve Hindu-Muslim unity and laid down his life for the same. Okay students, so here what we have seen that the whole life of Gandhiji worked for the unity of Hindu and Muslim. Okay students, but at last Gandhiji was assassinated, killed by Nathuram Godse. Okay students, have you understood this? And because of that also we could not able to enjoy the attainment of freedom, we can say. Okay students, have you understood this much? So this was the 12th lesson, that is India gains independence. Okay students, have you understood this? Yes, if you have any doubt, you can type your query, doubt in the comment section. I will try to solve it. Okay students, if you have liked this video, if you found this video informative to you, so do not forget to subscribe, like and share this video to your friends, school friends, tuition friends, relatives and all. Okay students, thank you students. For more and more such informative videos, be connected with me. Be studious, be thoughtful and be connected. Thank you. Bye.